Cinema Classics is produced by John DeSando and sponsored by WCBE 90.5 FM. Read reviews and listen to shows on WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando.
And I'm Audrey Harkonen.
And this is Cinema Classics. Now, Audrey, I had hopes for Babylon, and I had hopes for Nightmare Alley, and neither one of them turned out to be as much as I hoped it to be. So, what are my hopes now for Marlowe? Marlowe, this must be at least the 10th iteration.
At least. At least.
So, am I going to be disappointed?
You will be pleasantly surprised. I guarantee it. I certainly was. I was prepared to be a little let down, only because there have been interpretations of Philip Marlowe in the past that have not really captured him or not really given a good rendition in the circumstances. But Liam Neeson hits it out of the ballpark. He does.
And I said in my written review, I can't believe that he had the nerve to go up against this phalanx of Philip Marlowe, beginning with the indomitable Humphrey Bogart.
Right, starting with Bogart, who I always thought was, and of course he is quintessential. However, quite a bit polished in comparison to the actual descriptions and storyline in Chandler's books, in the Chandler story. Next was Robert Montgomery.
Yeah, oh, well, now you're talking about polished. Yeah. I can't remember exactly, but I know Robert Montgomery.
Yes. He always seems to have a smirk on his face.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he always does.
Isn't he always like slick? I mean, isn't
Yes, but what is interesting about the rendition, which is Lady in the Lake, is you really don't see him except for a reflection in the mirror a couple of times.
All right, let's stop there,
okay.
Because we're going to do that in the back talk.
Okay.
Excuse me. Because we're going to do that in the double take podcast section.
Okay.
We're going to look at the 10 or so. Or we're going to look at the ones that we know something about.
Okay.
And make the contrast. But our conversation is that Liam Neeson,
yes,
as Philip Marlowe, actually we enjoyed.
Yes.
Because, and here, Audrey, is my feeling about it, if you accept Liam Neeson as Liam Neeson, in all of his strengths and his weaknesses, and say, I can accept his attempt to do Philip Marlowe and actually be pleased by his movie, then what more do people want?
Right.
But they'll just savage his...
Well, I think that in also the production and the production value really adds to that performance as well. They've got him dressed appropriately, the settings, the costumes,
We're talking about 1939?
1939. It just captures that. What he does so well is he is an older guy. He's tired, he's world weary. And when he does it looks like when he does get into fisticuffs and a fight, he's just working his way up to it. And after he throws the punches and after the fight is over, he is drained, he's complaining, he's hurt. He's an old guy, and he does it so well.
He says at one point, I'm too old for this SHIT.
Yes, he does. He admits it. He's got a young girl that's flirting with him, and lovely young woman. And
Diane Kruger?
Yes. And she is getting nowhere with him because he's too smart for that. He's not going to fall for that.
And her mother.
Oh, Mom does and that's Jessica Lange. Mom's doing a little bit of...
right, so they double down on their femme fatales.
Yes, they do. Yeah, we have a double femme fatale. Interesting.
Yeah. So perhaps it's needed to do a new iteration of it. Not necessary for me, but it is fun to see mother and daughter sparring.
Yes.
And you're so right. I mean, he's been... What I love about his world, where he's been around.
Yeah.
Now, he almost fell in love, if I'm correct, with Lauren Bacall. No, that is the Bogies. Would you say in the Big Sleep? Not the first one. The Big Sleep. And Lauren Bacall was in that. My guess is that he was pretty close to falling in love with her.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty certain of
which
that.
is kind of unusual for Philip Marlowe, don't you think?
Yes, that was, that's a little bit of a twist, but again, I think it's because it was Bodie and that circumstances. They
Yeah.
took the liberty of getting him a little more emotionally involved.
Now, basically, what's the plot of this new Marlowe?
It's a twister, and it spins off on different directions, as Chandler usually does.
He does, and that is the noir. Uh-oh, hold on.
Hello, I'm from the art delivery school.
No, she's coming Thursday. What's the matter? What are you doing?
I helped her, and I understood she was going to be.
I need you to do for me, Cocaine Bear. I'll talk to you about it,
Okay, yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Good. Audrey, so you're with Marlowe.
And I apologize.
That's all right.
Okay.
What do you think? You think I can edit it? I can edit it. Yeah.
Now leave me in as an unwanted
Yeah, sure,
intruder.
it's just a colorful character. Marlowe would have. Yeah.
A cameo here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah, sorry for the interruption. It was just one of my colorful friends in our colorful Marlowe. Is it filled with colorful characters?
Always.
I don't think there's one that isn't colorful.
Yeah, they're all over the top characters. The plot is, first of all, it appears to be a missing person, but yet it's not a missing person. It finally unfolds into, it is a studio takeover. That's how it kind of unfolds. So there's blackmail, there's Tommy guns, there's shootouts, there's drug dealing, lots of drug dealing. And ultimately, I think, wouldn't you agree that it is the takeover or a certain amount of control over a studio?
Yes, over a studio, right. It's a fictional studio, but boy, it has the feel of it. It has the feel of Babylon and so on. It does have
Yes.
that feel, the chaos of
Right.
making movies. I mean, there's so much romance about it. But in the end, it was also a dangerous world.
Yes, yes.
And Marlowe is kind of floating through it. I just love the way, the more we talk about it, the more I like Neeson's take on this. The best way he can survive is just by distancing himself
Yes.
from all of this.
Yeah, and that is a Chandler maneuver, is that he kind of keeps Marlowe sort of in, but kind of on the outskirts all the time. He finds himself, that is Marlowe, he finds himself doing one thing, or he's taken one assignment, and as he digs a little deeper, he finds that he's in way over his head, but he keeps treading water and keeps swimming.
I looked forward to this Marlowe because one of my favorite heavyweights now would have to be Danny Huston.
Yes.
Now this is John Huston's son. Fortunately, in all of his bios, that's rarely mentioned.
I didn't realize. Yeah, I didn't realize it's not
A full
mentioned.
bio, of course, would.
Yeah.
But just a snapshot, they won't say that, and I'm so happy because he is his own person.
Yes.
He brings a quirky personality to his roles. But how about him in that double-breasted, almost white suit?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
love
perfect.
Well,
Well, and Alan Cumming.
yeah, how about Cumming?
Wow. He just, and just minutes on screen, really.
Yeah.
He has a couple of big scenes, and he just steals the moment.
He does.
He's so good.
He's so good. I think he's a drug dealer.
He is, he's definitely a drug dealer. He's one of the underworld kind of characters.
Yeah.
But very erudite and very well spoken. Not a shred of a Scottish accent anywhere. He does a deadpan American accent perfectly.
And you're reminding me that this is helmed by really Neil Jordan.
Yes,
And Neil Jordan is an Irishman.
yes.
And you have Cole Meany here as one of the interesting characters. He plays the sympathetic cop.
Yes,
And he
yes.
used to be on Star Trek.
I did not know that.
That's right,
I
he
did
was
not-
Scotty, he was the new Scotty.
Oh, okay.
And he's played several others, a really good character.
Yeah, he does a good
Right.
job of that subtle partnership
Yeah.
between him and
In
Marlowe.
fact, I think this was filmed in Spain maybe, or do you remember reading that?
Yeah, I do remember, it was not filmed in the United States. Spain, I think, was one location, and I can't
Right, yeah.
recall the other.
So interesting, as it shows you about the industry, how they could film anywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
And would you look at, and you opened up with the beautiful sets, how about the women's clothing? Audrey, come on.
Oh, the wardrobe was, and augmented by the stunning musical, the music in the.
All right, Audrey Harkonen, it's getting time for us, and I have to remind people that if they want to hear more of our blather, can you believe anybody would want to do that?
Oh, of course they want to.
All right, so it's going to be on Double Take, which is on WCBE, on the podcast experience. And we're going to talk a bit more about the other Marlowes, whatever we know. But right now, this is the newest Philip Marlowe. It's called Marlowe, starring Liam Neeson. What advice do you have for our audience?
I think that you will be very pleasantly surprised. Do not expect a true film noir, because it is filmed in color. They do a good job with shadow and light.
Yes, the rest is up to your imagination.
Oh, absolutely.